Hey everyone, I'm so glad that you're here. Today we're going to talk about your silent salesperson, how to gather and then use testimonials in your funnel and Facebook ads to drive sales, glorious sales. This is an important topic, and I have lots of practical, applicable things for all in what I'm going to talk about. So I'm Michelle Bridger. I've been doing Facebook and Instagram ads for the last 9 years. That is an eternity in this space. I've worked with some wonderful big name entrepreneurs and lots of smaller companies, but worked with really great people: Jenna Kutcher, Lisa Keeker, Allison Prince, Krista Mayshore, Rick Mulready. Oh gosh, so many amazing entrepreneurs. So out of this vast amount of experience, I'm going to share with you some tips about how to use and gather testimonials. So let's dive in. Testimonials turn prospects into buyers. So like when we go to Amazon, what do? We're not going to buy a product unless we look at the review. It's just part of what we do. And so it's going to be so important that in your funnels, you have strategically placed testimonials in order to drive those sales. Now, the thing is, people don't believe you. They don't believe what you say about your course. They're not going to believe about what you say, about your product, but they'll believe other people. Or I'll say it better, maybe they'll believe other people over you, because that's just the way we are. We believe social proof. And prospects will more likely relate to your buyers. So when your prospect says, this magnesium supplement helped my restless leg syndrome, that's so believable, as opposed to the doctor who created it saying it. So people will relate to your buyers and by your buyers' issues more than they will to you describing the problem and the solution. So prospects need testimonials to overcome their voiced and unvoiced objections. And prospects are 58% more likely to convert after reading a testimonial. And really needs to land. Gosh, just think about increasing your sales by 58%. That's worthy of paying attention to, huh? So take your testimonial game to the next level and you'll generate more sales. Now, how do you obtain testimonials? Well, we know that we ask, but asking for testimonials can feel, it can just feel really uncomfortable. So let's see what we can do. So in the process of asking for testimonials, we want to be bold, we want to be specific, and we want to be timely. So be bold like a lion. So try, of course, email, or of course you can try text, but trying an email. But here's what I suggest is that it be an automated process, because if it's just, this client's really happy, I'm going to reach out. But then you have to think about, how do I word the email? What should I say? What should I ask? Is she going to say yes? And then you get really busy because there's a small little fire you have to put out in your business. And then, 3 weeks later, you're like, oh, I never sent that. So make it an automated process that at blank point, maybe that's 3 weeks into your program. Maybe it's once they've gotten through the first module. Maybe it's 3 weeks after they've received the product, that you have it an automated process that you reach out for a testimonial. That can make a huge difference in your business and the volume of testimonials that you get. One of the softwares that I like is Video Ask. So I really suggest you look at that, because not only does it make it in a really comfortable way to ask for testimonials, but they're in video. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. So most importantly, remember that without testimonials, your sales will be lower. So that's, I've worked with Amazon sellers, and boy, they know they have got to have those reviews in there, or they just won't get the sales that they want. It's really closely aligned there. So specific. So here's what I suggest is ask for a success story. Specifically ask for a success story. Now, this can come early on in your program. So let's say you have a long-term weight loss program and you can help women who need to lose 65 pounds or more, and you have this incredible track record, but that sounds so daunting to someone who is struggling even to lose the first 5 pounds. But if you have a success story of, they lost 7 pounds, 5 pounds, 3 pounds, whatever it is, then that success story sounds doable. It sounds believable. And you have a success story right off the bat. And people can buy into that more than that huge, oh, you changed my world, my whole life changed kind of story. So a specific success story can really bring you in a world of good. And then you know what? You can, of course, share it in Facebook ads, and we're going to talk about how to do that. But organically, then it's fun to have those wins just going up organically. And people are like, they start to tune their ears into those wins that you're having. So with your clients, so ask them to be specific about their experience and their outcome. So here's some questions that I ask when I'm asking for a testimonial. So here's an important one. What did the situation look like before you started working with me, as an agency, since I'm a Facebook advertising agency? Why did you make the switch? What was going on with you before you started to work with me? What wasn't working previously? What was your biggest fear when switching? Or what was your biggest fear when you started to work with me? Might be a better one for if you're doing an online course. What are one or more things that you would highlight about working with us, with me, however you want to say it? And if you would recommend, and can you describe your experience in 3 words? What was the deciding factor? Now, here's what I'm going to camp on, because this is really important, because here's where you can get that people are like, oh yeah, I'm worried about that too. So this is an important, what was the deciding factor in deciding to buy the program and deciding to work with me one-on-one and deciding, so that deciding factor is a really important one. When you're asking questions, make sure to include that. And what specifically have been the results? I'm going to camp on this one for just a minute because we're going to talk about Facebook policy. So Facebook policy does not allow claims. And so a claim that can be made, that something that Facebook considers to be a claim, is I made X amount of money in X amount of time. So many of my clients are coaches and doing transformational work where someone's income will go up in a certain amount of time. And of course, that's amazing in a testimonial and so strong and wonderful to use organically, but you cannot use it in a Facebook ad. You can't say, I made $110,013 in 7 weeks using your program. That will get the ad rejected, because the bots read that and it gets rejected, and that can start to cause problems in your account. So make sure and not do that. Now let's switch over to timely. We want timely testimonials. So as soon as your clients have a win, big or small, rather than waiting until the end of your course or after working with you for months, then that's when you want to have a testimonial. Ask for their wins. And people are so much more likely to share small wins than to look at a blank piece of paper, or really it's a blank screen, and go, it was wonderful working with her, but I don't know what's right. I don't know how to word this. I don't know. I'll get back to it later. And so, but if they have a win, like I got my 2-year-old to stay at the table, or my 3-year-old stayed in bed last night. That's a huge win if you're a parent, for a parenting coach, or, any number of things. They're so much more likely, and it's so much easier to share the small wins. than it is to wait until the end and go, how do I word craft this? I'm no good at that, or I don't have time, or I'll get to that. So do timely is asking for the small wins, and people are so much more willing to do that. Connecting the dots. Remember, if you don't ask, you don't get. Testimonials bring in sales, and sales means those are exponentially helping more people with a transformation. So video testimonials are by far the best. They're more real, more relatable, and more memorable. People who watch 10% of a video are 80% more likely to buy. That is a Facebook statistic. And so turning these powerful testimonials into social proof in Facebook and Instagram ads. So let's talk about where you should place your testimonials in the funnel and in your ads. So first, we're going to talk about the ad copy. So top of funnel is where you're generating the leads. That's what I mean by that. So if you're using Facebook ads for a lead magnet, a free PDF, maybe a video series, something like that, a webinar, that is top of funnel ads. So here the testimonial would be about the transformation that your PDF, your webinar, something like that brings. Now, what you don't want to use is a testimonial about your product that you're selling, because that's pre-selling it, and that can be a real turnoff to people. So often we'll look for, if we are using long story ad copy, we'll look for a testimonial that's applicable about the lead generation that we're doing. We can insert that into that long story ad copy in an applicable way. Like, hey, make sure to register today. This is what Joe had to say, boom, put it in there if it's a strong testimonial. Now, the next one is middle of funnel. So if the middle of funnel might be a replay. So if you're doing an evergreen webinar for middle of funnel, here again is where you want a testimonial about how wonderful the webinar is. Again, not about the product, because people have not seen the call to action at the end of the webinar. So this one is about how wonderful the webinar is, how just by watching the webinar, a transformation happened. So this is, again, the testimonial that you want is about the webinar. And bottom of funnel, of course, is how amazing the product is. And so it's the product, it's the course, it's something like that. And so that is what the testimonial is that you want all over. So in the ad copy, we do this in a number of different ways. We do it in video, we do it written. People are raving about blank, blank, blank course, and then we'll list 3 specific testimonials. We'll make sure that there's enough white space. If it's a longer testimonial, we'll only use the strongest parts of that testimonial, because too much text, even if it's the most wonderful testimonial, can be daunting to the eye on the mobile, and most of the traffic will come from mobile. And so we're very careful about the parts, if it's a long testimonial, even the parts that we're using. Very careful, very specific about that. But we're crazy using, not crazy, we're using testimonials in many different ways at bottom of the funnel in retargeting to bring in more sales. And this is in the ad copy. Now, this is an example of testimonial that's going out in a video, and this is for top of funnel. This is to get people to purchase a book. The target market is women who are trying to get pregnant. This goes out in like a video animation software. It's where it's created. Wave, Animoto, Canva does this. There's some other good sources. Of course, you can use Photoshop, but this one was created. It has quite a bit of text, but it's fun and it's eye-catching. And so it's working really well. Yeah. So we also are doing video views and growing warm audiences with this one, the 6-Year Miracle, which is a testimonial. And this is a podcast that's going out. So here's that's just giving you some examples of testimonials for top of funnel. So this is an example of an image that we used for bottom of funnel retargeting testimonials. So sometimes it can feel kind of like, oh, it's all about me or whatever. But rather, if you can make it about, oh, these comments made me laugh so hard. And then people are reading testimonials that are kind of in alignment with that, or here, this one was just about one comment in particular that was funny. And it was a really strong testimonial, but the person wrote it in a funny way. That's great, because who wouldn't read the copy then in the target market after they've seen this comment made me laugh so hard? So it did really well, brought in a ton of sales, just really worked really well there. Testimonials bring in sales. So in the funnel on the landing page, now remember that these testimonials on the landing page are for the webinar, they're for the PDF, they're for the video series, they're for the ebook. They are not for the product. And so just be careful about that, because if people feel like they're being sold too early, rather than just here's your free gift, that can backfire on you. So we're always really careful about that. We suggest we do want our clients to put testimonials on the landing page, but they have to be specific about that free gift. So then on thank you page, man, thank you pages are such important real estate. We never want to just say thank you. We want this is the next step. This is what you want to do. This is what people are saying about the product. So let's say they just opted in for a webinar. Boy, that's a great place for a testimonial that Ben, Joe, and Bob are saying these amazing things about the webinar. The webinar starts at such and such a time. You're going to want to check email. And so you tell them what to do and what people are saying about the webinar. Really valuable real estate there. And if you're just doing a PDF, boy, you know what? You can find, so you can get some people to give you testimonials about that PDF. And same thing, this is what people are saying about it. Go get it in email. That's really strong real estate there. Replay page, definitely want testimonials on the sales page. Of course, we know we need to saturate sales pages with testimonials, video testimonials, if possible, screenshots from your Facebook group, so that people are really seeing that social proof. Just so make sure that it's clear, that it's readable. Sometimes people can put in so many screenshots and things like that it's a little daunting to the eye, or maybe that's just me. But in regards to that, I'll just insert something that Hotjar, which is a heat map, which you can get for free and have it go over your sales page, can help you to see which testimonials people are really gravitating towards. And then you might want to move those up higher on the page. So you definitely want testimonials. I'm a believer that testimonials need to be throughout the sales page, not just after they've scrolled 3/4 of the way down, and then there's a whole chunk of them at the bottom. I propose, I really believe that testimonials need to keep, be moving throughout the page, not just chunked in one area. The initiate checkout page. So sometimes a client will come to us and we'll see that there won't be any testimonials on the initiate checkout page. It's so important. We've all abandoned carts going, I don't know. Should I? I don't know. I need to talk to my husband first. I don't know. Should I? I've tried this, a million things. We wanted Spanish, those last minute fears, testimonials. Strong testimonials can make such a difference there. You know what? If you want to, you can test them with and without and see what the difference in your conversion rate is. But for sure, you need them on there. And I like testimonials on the thank you for purchasing page, because how many of us have bought something, all of us can raise our hands and say, yes, I bought something and then I had buyer's remorse. like, oh, I just bought that course for 2000. Like, oh, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Where's that guarantee? You want to stop that. You want to stop buyer's remorse and by putting in testimonials. So you want your next steps. Thank you for purchasing. Here's what you do next. And this is what Georgia, Paul, and Sam are saying about the course. We're so excited. Here's where you join the Facebook group. Here's what you do next. That's really powerful to someone to go, yeah, if they can do it, I can do it. And so we want those testimonials on that page. Now I want to cover just a few don'ts. So again, I want to just say this again because I see people doing this still all the time, but you don't want a time frame and a money claim mentioned in the same ad copy. Remember that Facebook bots read the next page that you're sending traffic to. So you don't want it in the ad copy, but you also can't have it on the landing page. So just be careful about that. Years ago, we were running a video. It was actually 2.5 minutes long. The video was doing great. The funnel was highly profitable. Everything was doing great. And this was years ago, we did not catch that there was a time frame and a money claim in the middle of that video. And dang, like, that just derailed, and we had to start from scratch because we had so many rejections based on that. Just all of a sudden Facebook was like boom, 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 and started shutting down all those ads. Fair warning, don't do that. So if you don't neglect to ask, just get those systems in place, start asking, start being bold, be timely, be specific. And don't neglect to use them. So you have these, maybe your team is starting a spreadsheet of these testimonials. And so make sure to ask. I am going to insert one more thing, is that testimonials are an amazing place to look for client language. So client language, you want to, when you can speak your client language back to them in your copy, that's in your ad copy, that's in your landing page, your sales page, everywhere across your funnel, in your emails, when you can speak back to them the words that they're saying, your sales will increase. Where do you find the copy? You find it in the comments of your organic posts. You find it in the comments on your paid traffic, but you also find it in your testimonials. So this is really important. When we take on a new client, we're really reading through those testimonials. We watch the videos that clients have from their clients, because we're looking for, what are people saying? What words are they saying? How are they saying it? How can we use that in our ad copy? Because when we do, we'll be more successful. And so do the same thing. Listen to the videos, testimonials that you have in the written copy. Listen to the language that's being said, and then mirror that in all the rest of your copy, and you'll be more successful. So the testimonials really are your silent salesperson. Make sure to be using them in your ads, in your funnels, and you will increase your sales. Use them in ways that are, be bold, be specific, and be timely, and you'll see a difference. Testimonials are so important, and they're such a delight to get. So I hope this has been helpful to you. I have a free gift for you. So you're going to go to michellesfreegift.com. I have a Facebook core assessment for you. And so if you're running ads, it's going to help you to grade and take a look at your ads in this core assessment. You might see gaps that you have and how you can improve that. And if you're not running ads yet, but you plan to, still download it, because it's going to help you to plan ahead on what you should have in place. So make sure and grab that, and connect with me at michellebridger.com. You can also do that on my website, michellebridger.com. And again, grab the gift at michellesfreegift.com and go gather those testimonials.